So where you guys last left off, you had left Ill Valley in a very strange circumstance, and flew your asses all the way to Toggan, where you all landed in the water. Um, is there anything anyone wanted to do for your free time?
Where are we currently flying to? We're flying to Toggan.
Yes.
Um, I made a scroll, I believe.
Wonderful.
Yeah, magic circle scroll.
What is magic circle?
It's an abjuration spell that is very helpful in certain specific situations.
All right. Well, that's very nice. Anything else?
No?
Cool. Um, so as you're touching down into the water at the port of Toggan, this city is very large. I'd say it's bigger than Morncall. And directly in the center of the city, there is this large linwood tree, larger than a lot of them that you've seen. I'm pretty sure Mistis has been around Kerth in all these 90 years, so
Yeah, probably a lot.
you've probably been here before. You recognize that that is the linwood tree, and these are linwood trees. They're like how birch trees are all one system. It's like that, and that's the original one.
Ah, the mother tree. I can get so many resources from that. But they never allow me to. So, sacred or whatever.
Um,
Sorry, don't mean to interrupt, Bev. Go back to what you were doing.
were you guys in the same room at that point, or did you just walk into a room and be like, and like grab his shoulders? The mother tree.
I imagine, like, if I was on the deck with him at the same time around there, I might have said it.
As you touch down to the water, you do have to like brace yourself as you were once weightless and now have made contact with a solid body of water. Uh, your ship is not the largest here. There are actual like galleons here in this port. Um, looking
Only flying.
looking down, yes, the only flying one. Many people are astonished. But looking down, you already see a contingent about 30 to 35 gnomish soldiers with the golden inlay that Bav would recognize from Gilmy. No one has their weapons out, and one of them has a very ornate helmet, and it seems to be holding a large scroll under his arm.
Hey,
Very
that's the
ornate.
same insignia of the people that we just fought, isn't it?
Not the insignia, but the style of armor.
That's the same style armor. People we just fought, isn't it?
Uh, I mean, Mort wasn't like special enough to
Uh,
be with them. He was just a guard captain that nobody really liked.
gotcha. Well, just in case, I think it's prudent that you sign my book so that I can talk to you if need be.
That's all the book is for.
That's all this specific signing is for. I assure you.
Farron approaches. I'll sign it.
I look staring up and down.
You don't seem important enough. Sorry.
No,
Actually,
that's
Oh,
okay.
you work you work on the ship, don't you? Actually, there might be someone better for this. Bav, who do you recommend on the ship that you would like to contact regularly for me to put in this book?
Mm, thinking. Definitely Lenora and Pollock and Harry. And maybe Rowan. Because he shoots the fireballs.
I'm gonna choose Lenora because she's a hot piece of ass. Lenora!
She's not on like deck right now, but Farron tells someone else, and it becomes like a chain. And Lenore reports, not with like a whole lot of haste either.
Sign my book.
I'm not going to sign the book of a witch. That sounds like a horrible
Sign the
idea.
book.
And she looks at you still, she's like trying to get a read off of you.
Sure.
I'm gonna sign the book.
Oh, but when she sees you sign, it's like, fine. And she signs as well. So now you have Lenora's willing signature.
If this
Epic.
fucks us, I'm gonna kill you.
No. I'll prove it right away. I'm going to send a little test message. And then I'm going to write in the book, test smiley face. And you hear in your mind.
Do we get emojis in sending?
Can you? DM? Please.
That's how you get around complex ideas in only 25 characters.
That's true. But
Or 25 words.
okay. You're gonna have to, I'm gonna give you the fucking, you're gonna lawyer your way out of it pretty much. How can you justify an emoji when it's words beamed into your mind?
Well,
it doesn't
so
say
for,
images.
Code.
for simple ones, you would just use the grammatical name for the symbolage, right? So it's a typical smiley face is just a colon and a closed parentheses or an open parentheses, which can be said via sending.
Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face.
Yeah, but maybe perhaps magically speaking, it might just convey that, because since it doesn't necessarily have to make sound per se, because it just beams directly into your mind.
That's true.
Every
but
day
you don't
I'm
see an
casting-
image.
Private sanctum on that specific, middle section of the boat.
Gotcha.
I'm telling Kraken to never leave that area.
He is so chill, just being lazy in one place. Other people bring him
Yeah.
food and drink, and he plays music, so that's his ideal life.
Farron just fucking fatten him up so he never leaves.
And then
we'll
I'm
eat him.
gonna turn to Lenora, and I will send you a message as well. And I'm gonna write on there, "What's cooking? Good looking."
She looks at you with such disdain. Like disgust, like you would use this for that.
I'm sorry. That was just the
That's
test one.
alright.
I won't be sending willy-nilly messages anymore. I promise.
That's her default face.
It's not, and see that you don't.
Of course, madam.
She
And
does
I-
have like a
I give-
resting bitch face.
I give like a way out of character curtsy to her.
And she like bows with like an awkward face, like, okay. About this time, you hear like a very loud voice. Please disembark the vehicle, as we have words for the captain of this vessel.
Don't got no captain. Fuck the patriarchy.
So true.
And they look at each other
I hate men.
confused. And Mistus, you know that this is a matriarchy. The Gnomish lands are matriarchal.
It's about time we had some female representation.
It's been like that for like 3,000 years, but okay.
Shut up. God.
Guards, throw this man into prison. He's a man.
Mostly male soldiers looking at each other like. And once again, you hear a very loud voice going, "Please disembark the vehicle."
Why?
So we may converse.
I feel safe up here.
Okay, it's just really awkward having. I can speak normally with this spell, but you have to yell back at me.
Here, I got you.
One second.
Bav, just Oh no, you know the spell too. Uh, let's cast message at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I cast message.
On who? The
The
captain?
guy who's talking. Yeah, the guy who's talking.
Okay.
We can
We're just
talk
gonna
like this
both
in
speak
your mind.
And he replies.
over each other so we can understand.
Yeah, he gets two messages at once. He's like, oh, and he replies to both with, "Please don't do that."
I look at Bav and we time it again and say our thing at the same time. That's like, oh my bad.
And you see, like, he like hands the scroll to someone else and like is holding his head and like he looks like kind of sick. Is and he nods to someone, and you see a little. You see someone. Someone in robes touches him, and he grabs the scroll and starts to fly. And he gets all the way to the deck of the ship, and he salutes. And he's like, "Hello, I'm Captain Leopold. How goes it?"
Oh, you know.
"May I speak with the captain of this vessel?"
We don't got one of those.
So you all must be. This must be the Sky Shadow, correct?
We're all communists, so everyone gets equal, but some are a little bit more equal.
That is
That wasn't
very
exactly
unrelated to
me.
what I said.
Yeah, I'm not a member of this crew, but I believe that
This
that
is
is
our
the name of the ship.
ally.
Very interesting. Well, I know of the Sky Shadow. Most of the Linwood knows of the Sky Shadow now.
That's cool.
Yes, the engineering of Morncall is quite something. And he opens the scroll, and it's like a really long scroll, and the rod at the bottom that's supposed to weigh down the parchment like rolls to your feet. Yes. No, that's not it. Maybe this? Fuck it. He rolls it back up. "The princesses wish to meet you, heroes of Morncall, and the queen will be in attendance as she always is."
I'm pretty sure my former group was also the Heroes of Gilmy.
And he looks at you with like a very perplexed look, like, "Are you sure about that?"
Yeah, we just had beef with one guy. That
Hmm.
doesn't mean we didn't save everyone there.
Reports have come in from Gilmy over these last few months that the heroes of Gilmy, and he does like air quotes, are terrorists that stole from the common people and then fled via the inner sea.
That's
you
not
see,
terror. Wait, hold on. That's not terrorism.
There was lots of destroyed property, and specifically it was described by guard Captain Mort as terrorism. No one takes him
You know-
seriously, though, but interesting that you're here.
Okay.
We're looking for a tree.
The Linwood, the Linwood tree.
No, just a tree.
Just-
Out of some guy.
So I don't know how much you've done socializing up until this point in which you've met me, but that's not how this conversation is going. I don't know who you're talking about, and also I am just here to deliver the missive that you have been summoned by the Queen and Princesses, which you are required
happens if
to
you don't?
answer.
Don't answer the summons.
Well, that's very rude, and also you'll be, you know, banned from the city.
You get banned for refusing a summons? I guess that checks out.
Well, it's the queen and princess. I mean, you could. If I summoned you, you wouldn't have to answer, you know? Just like you don't have to open your door for a guard unless I have a warrant.
See, this is what I'm saying. Only cities that are run by women have civil liberties.
I've never lived anywhere else, so I have no idea.
I'm just teaching this man.
You know Kilcrin.
Kilcrin
Is he-
Farragon, one of the heroes that took down the demon cult, of course.
You know where his house is?
No, I am a guard captain for the precinct that handles the docking area. You have to go to like
Are all guard captains treated the same?
mostly. It's mostly done by performance, and I keep a very low crime rate here at the docks. No smuggling. Anyways, we are here to provide an escort, which is why we asked you to disembark. Everyone on this vessel is invited, and if you need someone to guard your vessel, I will leave a contingent of soldiers here.
Are both fine. It goes in the fucking guy.
I saw that, yes. I saw you land.
And you see the big cannon part? Definitely not compensating, by the way.
I'm gonna go wait on the ground while you figure this out, but you are expected to be there today.
Where do we go?
To the giant tree, the Linwood. That's...
Oh, you have some of the tree?
no.
Darn.
You could buy a seed pod, but that's probably too expensive.
How much?
That's like 10,000 gold.
Okay.
That's possible.
Not on my salary, is what I'm saying. So, and he flies back down. What would you guys like to do?
Well, are we going to talk to this, prince and princess? Whatever?
Probably a good way to figure out where Kilcrin's house is.
Fair enough.
And, if it gets a little iffy, I can just, turn into like a giant ape or something. And then I'll put you in my arm like a little baby.
Oh, you would carry me?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a plan, then.
The giant ape would do good in a tree, right?
Yeah, probably. Do I have any spells that would make you better at being a giant ape? Not really.
About this time, you see a carriage, a few carriages roll up.
Why are we getting so much service? All we did was dock.
Uh,
Always love docking.
Okay. The last time I was here, I came by cart, so I never experienced what it's like to be here on a boat.
Pollock comes up. All right, Captain. I'm sorry, Superior Officer.
Councilman.
Council. Okay. Bav. We have made preparations. Everything's locked down for when we go. We are going, right?
We all go.
Oh yes.
Everyone but Rockin.
All right. Should anyone stay here?
I
Lenora?
assume that Lenore is gonna stay.
Uh,
She's
Lenora.
like that.
Lenora speaks up. I want to go. I want to see what's so great about this weird tree.
I thought you hated everyone.
No, that not really. I have a strong distaste for a lot of people.
Mm. Okay.
And well, anyways, so you know what? It's very complicated. Perseus and Zanai will be staying here to guard Rock, and if anything happens.
Yeah.
I suppose that works.
And as the navigator, I shall also stay, and so shall Harriet, just in case we gotta get out in a jiff.
You won't need a thing from the gift shop.
Do they? I mean, a mug would be nice.
Let me see the ship's coffers compared to mine. We've only got 6,000 gold in the safe, and I have 1,000. 1,000's enough for a mug, even in the gift shop.
Right. Oh, so what do you guys do?
I guess go to the Linwood tree.
Yeah.
You disembark
Up in that name cart.
from.
Sorry, I just reminded myself of something. DM, how many long rests did we take on the travel?
I'd say about 2.
It was 2.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
need to roll this twice. Okay. Cool. No more contamination gained. Also, have I been working at all on the whatever device I was going to be making with the big delirium
Yeah,
cluster?
you had about a day and a half, almost 2 days since you guys got here. You would have gotten here at night, but you took a long rest to wait it out.
Can I help
Okay.
her with that?
Yeah, it's just an Arcanic check with advantage.
Which one of us?
Mistus.
That's a nat 20.
Finish it in one day.
God damn. Anyways. Alright. So,
We broke the DM.
you're able to get a large harvesting from this crystal, and you're able to finish, like a prototype of a medallion that should be able to ward off this mist in about, like, a 10-foot radius around
Wait,
whoever's
who's the
wearing
one
the
who made
medallion.
Who invented the mist? Mistus?
That is a good question. Perhaps I should ask the Coven.
What
Eh,
the
maybe
fuck
not.
is that?
Don't worry about it.
I feel like I am.
I haven't talked to them in a long time.
So I don't have a homebrew item for this,
Yeah, I mean that's.
but
So is my plan to make multiple of these amulets from this thing, or one big? Because you said it was a prototype, so is it like a
it's a single
smaller?
amulet. But you could, with more time and more help, you could make like a ward for the ship.
Yeah. Okay. So since I've completed this prototype, then I'm gonna hand it to Bav and say, "You wear this. It'll protect a small sphere around you. It's a prototype version. But now I shall work on a bigger version for the whole ship."
So the effects of this amulet is everyone within a 10-foot radius of the wearer gets advantage on the saving throws from the mist.
Is that attunement?
No.
Okay.
The delirium in it is doing its own thing. It's like it's putting off like a very offensive field of magic.
I don't know if I want to wear this to the tree.
Yeah, you might piss off some magic casters. They don't tend to like those who use delirium if they know what delirium is. I've experienced quite a lot of that.
That's true. Um, yeah, so everyone disembarks. You have with you Lenora, Cora, um, Rowan, Farron, yourselves, obviously. And I'm trying. I know you know what I'm doing. I'm trying to remember their names off the top of my head. Isaac Stars and Killereth and Win.
What about? Uh, what did you say?
So everyone except Zanari, Perseus, and Harakin, and Pollock and Harriet are going.
Did you ask what about Win?
What about Rowan?
He's with you.
You just want him for the fireball, don't you?
Point at something, a fireball.
Very useful.
What about that over there? And I point at a nearby building.
No.
So this journey to the Capitol building or the Linwood tree, it's like maybe a 20-minute cart ride, which is pretty long from experiences with other cities. It's just the city's very dense and everything is like it's not like it doesn't have like cobbled roads because some of the buildings are made from like Linwood clones. So it's very bumpy ride getting there. But the culture is very rich. You see mostly gnomes and wood elves every now and again, but there are other races who come to visit this town. Or it's not really a town; it's more of a city. And once you finally arrive, there is like an entourage of guards waiting.
On the way there, I'm gonna cast aids on myself, Mistis, and Lenora to give them 10 max HP for 8 hours.
Nice.
Question, DM: Do I have any bounty or reputation here that the princesses would know about? Probably not, but is there?
No, you've mostly stayed hidden.
Okay.
The only reason why the heroes ever found out about you was because like it was like a series of like good fortune on their part.
Okay. Can I, before we, or like while we were walking, can I have ritual cast comprehend languages on myself?
Yes, you have a full 20 minutes of it. Whatever you can do in 20 minutes, you got.
I'm just gonna say fucking heinous shit in Gnomish.
Oh, if I had 20 minutes, then I'm also going to ritual cast Unseen Servant and give them a standing order to just follow me.
Amazing. Bav, you're cursing obscenities in Gnomish.
Mm-hmm.
How loud is this? Like, are you loud enough for anyone outside the cart to hear, or just inside?
Loud enough for like the coach driver and like anyone getting real close to the cart.
Yeah.
I finish my comprehend languages like halfway through the cart ride, and suddenly I can hear your obscenities.
Yeah, and like anyone passing by like looks at the car like, oh. You offended a lot of people.
Language skills sharp.
Oh, is that a common set of words you use in Dwarvish?
It was
I
Gnomish.
mean, it's Gnomish.
Oh, Gnomish.
Anyways, when you arrive, a guard opens your carriage door and bows and gestures to the wide opening in this linwood tree, where you can actually see inside, and the tree is mostly hollow, and there are floors that rise up.
I lean over to one of the guards and ask them if they know who Sylvanus is.
Know who?
Sylvanus, the god.
Of course, it's Sylvanus, one of the pantheon of gods. The Wild Wanderer is what we call him.
Popular here.
Not really.
Dig. See you later.
As you go in, guards lead you to another set of, another archway, and it is a long while you're walking upstairs. I'd say it's like another 20 minutes of just walking upstairs to get to the top.
Whew. I don't do a lot of this heavy moving. You guys should install an elevator.
It's not that difficult.
Don't know what that is.
Like a magical lift or something. Or maybe a teleportation circle.
That's only for the royals.
Yeah, so there is
Give me
one?
the code.
Of course.
Give me the code.
There was no code.
Give me the proper sigils.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to lose my job and be put in a dungeon forever for that.
It would save so much walking, though.
Of course
You
it
give
would.
me the
We're like-
proper
we're
sigils,
like-
I'll let you drive the boat that goes in the sky.
I have no idea what you're talking about either. Anyways, and he opens these large, like, vine-covered doors, and at the end you see this large, like, stained glass circular window, casting light through a thin white curtain, and behind it you see a silhouette of a throne. And on either side of the curtain, where you can see, are two smaller thrones where you see two gnomish women in very fine garments sitting. They lead you up to these steps, and if you try and keep going up the steps, you get a firm arm to the chest telling you, to stop. And a guard comes up. Their Majesties, the princesses, first of their names, Princess Ilnalt and Princess Euphena. And for our queen,
Miss- I'm sorry, I was going to say Mrs. bows during this at like an inappropriate time.
And for our queen, Marini the Third. And a lot of your crew does bow, except like Cora and ELS, who like look around confused.
There's a queen.
Bow for the queen.
Nah.
Jesus Christ.
Who's that?
The queen. What do you think? She just got introduced.
So these two princesses are very identical. They are very hard to tell apart. They also wear the same dress. The princess on your right speaks up. Heroes of Morncalm, I was expecting you to visit Toggan eventually. And then the other princess speaks up. Yes, we have been expecting you for a very long time, ever since we got news of you being heroes. All heroes visit Toggan.
Why is that? You give free houses?
To those who find themselves worthy. The right princess speaks up. We have summoned you here on the accord that you are heroes, but we would like to invest in your heroic deeds. Yes, what my
You don't have
sister...
to kill me.
I am aware that you've had some run-ins with the local guards in one of our towns. And at this time you see a little gnomish girl run up to one of the princesses and whisper in her ear. By the way, the entire time these princesses only speak gnomish.
Clutch. Like, comprehend languages, baby.
And after she's done whispering in her ear, she pulls a fan from her side and blocks her mouth with it. What interesting news! These heroes are not very heroic most of the time. Is that correct?
I mean, we were gonna have to ask fucking. I get the name. Get the name. I've got it in my notebook here. One second. She wasn't that important. Sigrid Britain the Third.
Yes,
We
one of
gotta
our
ask her
appointed
questions.
mayors.
Yeah, and then a dementia-ridden, living rent-free in his head, had gathered, a lot of guards to come kill us. It was really just self-defense, you know. We've got lots of important stuff to do with our ship, and we can't really be stopped by someone so I don't know, like out of their fucking mind.
Hmm. And the princess that's not blocking her face has a very upset expression on her face, stands up out of her throne, and all the guards grab their swords, and she raises a hand, and they, loosen up, and she walks up right to you two. I am the Princess Analt. I know it must have been hard to decipher which of us two is which, but I don't like playing games. We have a very serious time, and it is imperative that we protect our citizens and our lands.
Oh, we didn't kill any citizens.
Are you implying
That-
that God Captain Mort and all of the guards at your wizard there exploded, not citizens?
That was defense of our property.
You turned many men to ash, and then stole the corpse of one of our guard captains.
We had to fucking know what's going on in his brain, and apparently
I'm sorry, what?
it is not much.
What do you mean know what's inside of his brain?
You know where you get a spoon and you scoop up some of his brain?
And she looks at you with such hatred. And she she looks like she's about to do something, and then you see her face ease, and she heads back to her throne. And from Minalta you hear, "Fine. Mother, I need you all to make wisdom saves. Well, you two, but..."
Fourteen.
14. Bav, what's your whiz
7.
save? 7?
Mhm.
You are both affected by the zone of truth now.
I thought that was charisma save.
It's a whiz save. Unless
Either way, I would have failed. Because I only rolled a 6 on the die.
Let me look real quick.
It is a charisma save.
It is a charisma save. That changes stuff. You may re-roll a charisma save, the both of you.
Can I just use the same one but change my bonus?
Yeah.
So that would be an 18.
18.
20.
20. Never mind. You're not affected by the zone of truth. Where you see this thin curtain recede, and you now gaze upon a very tiny gnome woman who is so wrinkly that like her forearm skin touches the throne, but her hands are like put together at her chest.
Such unparalleled beauty.
And she has like two massive buns of hair on each side of her head, and this little crown in between them. Well, speak unto me the story of what happened.
Would you like to know what was... I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it online. Would you like to know what was going on inside of Captain Mort's head?
Speak unto me the truth.
I consumed his mind, so I have all of his knowledge.
There was once a witch I knew long ago who could do such a thing.
Really?
Yes.
Did you have a good opinion of that witch?
I was not as old as I am now, but with age comes wisdom, and magic has no morality. It is just a tool. So tell me, why did you find it necessary to go to kill me and massacre guards?
Plan was to go to Gilmy and speak to the mayor. But they didn't really like that.
That is to be expected when you commit crimes beforehand.
Okay, so, like fucking petty theft is reasonable. That's reasonable to respond with lethal force.
Yeah, I happen to know exactly what was going on inside of Mort's mind, and he seriously overblew their crimes. Like, the worst crime was that they ran from the law. Like, it was petty theft and minor property damage that they did offer to pay for. Mort actually knew that, but he still chose to be an asshole about it.
Very interesting. I remember when Captain Mort was born. He was always an annoying baby.
His brain's really annoying. I was glad to leave that behind.
I'm sure my granddaughters have told you that you are a great investment for the Gnomish Empire.
DM,
Yes.
was the Gnomish Empire a thing that Mistis knew about when she first came here?
The Gnomish Empire has not been a thing for a long time.
Is this like a grand conspiracy that this person is talking about right now?
No, it was a thing at one time. They just don't call it the Gnomish Empire. It is just the Linwood now. The Linwood. I think Mistis would know this. Is that the Linwood trees, like thousands of years ago, were not like populated throughout the Linwood. It was the one tree that spawned the gnomes, and then the gnomes spread the trees anywhere that they like settled. But it was called the Gnomish Empire.
Mm.
But that's like 1,000 years ago.
Okay.
I, as queen, am reaching my 325th year of life.
You look great.
The Gnomish Empire needs heroes. Once a long time ago, there were heroes. Heroes that battled the
I know.
waves of the sea. Heroes who vanquished the liches that haunted the Linwood and the Bloodblade Plains. And more recently, there were heroes who stopped demon cults. But the gnomes have not known a hero that rallied under their banner and represented them in a cause for a long time.
You guys are feeling left out.
This is the proposal that we have for you. The Linwood will sponsor your group. Soldiers, money, armaments, housing. But you must become honorary citizens of the Linwood and wear our banners. And you must profess loyalty to me, your queen.
I quickly flip open my book and write on Bab's page, I'm not fucking doing that.
Can you just direct us to Kilgren's estate?
Kilgren's estate. I did not know he was dead.
Basically.
Well, until you can confirm his death, or it has been at least 20 years, his estate is not negotiable without him.
I'm pretty sure what they're doing to his soul is worse than death.
I will provide you access to the estate of Kilgren Foroggan, should you rally under our banner, as well as the other proposements I had granted unto thee.
Yeah, we just like less than 2 weeks ago said, fuck listening to one person. Because, we've had a couple captains of shadows. It doesn't really go well.
I am no captain, boy. I am a queen.
Mm-hmm.
What say you?
Sounds like a bad deal.
The princesses look at their mother and look at you with astonishment. Inalta stands up. How dare you speak unto her majesty in such a way? And the queen raises a hand. Hush, child. Listen to what the dwarf has to say.
Just the shit alone that I would get from Yannick and Doran. It's not worth the price you want me to pay.
I also have a strong I want to call it spiritual belief in not professing loyalty to a country.
500,000 gold up front.
That's fine. I'll do it.
What are we gonna do with money? The
And 1
fucking world is
million
gonna end.
gold upon the death of Morag the Unabashed.
Yeah, but like, having infinite money just like makes it worthless.
There are many who covet money.
Uh-huh.
And gnomish gold is good everywhere.
Yeah.
Are you saying that there are things you want that you cannot buy?
Like not wearing your banner.
Hmm. Well, you see, we could not obviously give in to such qualms.
I mean, best we can do is put you with the other sponsors on the sponsor section of the ship that's on the port side. So that's where everyone can see from the dock,
And you see, like, this old lady, she has, like, a big-ass nose, and her nostrils super flare up when she's taking this in, like, this breath in.
Me too, sister.
Princess is dumbfounded that you would call her sister.
It was a figure of speech. I'm so sorry. I have a hard time controlling my mouth sometimes.
Interesting. I am not like my mother before me. I am not rash, and I will not die the way she did. I've already outlived her by 2 centuries.
You kill your mother.
No.
I did. No, I didn't kill your mother. I killed my mother.
Thank you for the clarification. How could we
Very
come to an
potent
agreement?
childbirth.
Maybe if it were less extreme?
Is it extreme to give you a place to sleep? Is it extreme to give you all the money you could
Okay.
need to fund an army? Is it extreme to ask for loyalty in exchange?
Yes.
It's just really the last part.
Yeah, at least one of those things is very extreme. You like sandwich... I'm gonna stop speaking.
You're supposed to go less extreme, extreme, less extreme when you're trying to sail. It's like a sandwich. It's called the shit sandwich. You put 2 good pieces of bread and, the not so good part in the middle, and you can't really taste it.
Then what would you have me do, heroes? We are in desperate need, for we believe that Toggan is the next target of Morag.
I mean, we're totally fine. I think... correct me if I'm wrong, Bav, but the group's goals is already to stop Morag, and if we know that Toggan will be targeted, then we have a bit of an advantage.
Why would Toggan be targeted?
We hold repositories of many magical items, weapons, and the Linwood seed pods are said to bring people back from the dead.
Could you perhaps maybe just sponsor us with the magical items, or perhaps just Kilkern's estate, and then in exchange we will kill Morag for you? but maybe not do the whole undying loyalty forever and beyond part. Like, perhaps we could just a quest that heroes do.
The queen rises, and everyone in the room except your party gasps. And she walks down these steps. It takes her so long to get down from the fucking throne, and so long to get down these steps. And she's about a foot tall now. She looks like a raisin that deflated even more. Actually, looks like it got wet and then it drooped. So now, like, a lot of her is dragging on the floor.
You should really get surgery.
Babs doesn't say that.
But she comes right up to you two, with her little staff, and she lifts her hand to reveal a jewel. And she says, "Well, heroes, I will consider sponsoring further, but I will let you choose one thing from our armory each. And I will take your word that you will defend Toggan in this upcoming attack."
Why? Like, just magic items? That's all? That's why Alrig's gonna target us? Target you?
We could negotiate further after this attack is repelled.
Okay, but like... Moradin... Who I... kind of believe a little bit more, said that he was gonna come. Morag, she was gonna come for Harak and Brad. Not Toggan.
Just because she is targeting the old guard does not mean that she does not need resources. The orcs are pillagers by nature.
Can I
supposed to say that?
Can I insight check her to see if maybe this is just perhaps paranoia on her part, or if this is like a legitimate
Please,
intel that they have?
please make an insight check.
19.
This old woman is cold and calculated. She would not be saying these things to you unless she was certain.
I open the book really quick and I write in there. I think she's being serious. She doesn't seem like the type to be paranoid or act irrationally. You can also respond, by the way, when you get that message back.
I mean, like... We could just take the item. It's just like a bonus.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I respond with.
We'll take our pick of the litter and we'll defend Toggan as long as you forgive what happened in Gilmy and protect Harakan.
Protect Harakan. I have not seen him in 20 years.
Yeah, I think if there were going to be like guards protecting him, it would be best if they were deaf.
I loved his
I don't
music.
think anyone else can guard him.
He may stay here.
We have
the
in
music.
room.
It's the conversation he makes.
I always found him funny.
Okay, well that makes me like you less.
Bev, maybe just
But she wants the truth. Hmm?
Bring Hurakan here. He may stay in the throne room until the invasion is over.
Okay.
You think they're not gonna target the throne room?
They could certainly try. But no matriarch has been assassinated here in the history of the Linwood. So, she points to...
You guys are protected against prying eyes, right?
Of course. Why wouldn't we be?
Sounds like a good place to keep him. Better than on the side of a fucking cliff.
And she points to a guard who immediately like takes a knee so quickly and avoids like looking at her. You take these heroes to the armory. And she turns around and makes her super slow ascent back up the 4 steps.
Hey,
I'm gonna write in the book, Bev. You should give her haste.
I don't think they would like me casting spells. And then she would be stunned for 1 turn after she sat down.
The guards like escort you back out, and you're walking downstairs for a long time. Not as long
at
as
least it's
before.
easier this way.
You're on one of the upper floors, and you enter this room, and it has most magic items that you may conceive. So, what I'm gonna do is that you may pick an item for each of your crew members and yourselves. Well, I'll have Perseus and Zanara pick theirs when they get back, or I'll message them. You can have one magic item that is... I don't know the names of rarities, but it's like a purple one. You can have a purple
Very
one.
rare.
Yeah, you can have anything that's purple or less than that. Actually, you have a point system. I should go look at that because I think that's very fitting.
So if I'm allowed up to a very rare magic item, can I trade my current rare magic item, the Rod of the Pact Keeper, for something else? Because I want to pick an item that will make it useless.
I mean, you could... Are you suggesting that you want to trade in your item for a rarer item or another of equal value?
Another of equal value.
I would normally say yes, but these guards are under orders to only let you pick one, so I cannot.
Hey, if I dimension doored you up to the room again, or maybe right outside of it, could you ask if we could perhaps exchange one of our magic items for another in here?
I will send a courier immediately, and he faces a man, and that man immediately fucking sprints. And you hear his armor like clanging, and he gets more and more distant.
I was going to teleport you, so you did. All right.
And like a few minutes later, you hear armor approaching. Yes. Yes. I just hand it to me and I'll register it, and you could take another one.
Here you go.
And I hand my Rod of the Pact Keeper unattuned for me.
Cool. And he takes it, wraps it in like fabric, and ties it in twine, and it has like a little blank tag on it now. And he just takes it away, wheezing.
And then I grab a Rod of the Pact Keeper +3.
And level up. No. What is this? Where is your...
That's my... There you go.
Is it randoms tables? No. Where is it?
The magic item thing isn't in the solarium thing. Here, I will resend it in. Just give me 1 second.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to say we'll go off of that if you want something less than a rare item. So the cost of a very rare item is the allotment. Oh, goddamn. I will save that image, but I'm going to resend it, or if you could resend it into the session chat, please.
Sure.
And yeah, you can go off of the magic item costs here. So 5 is your allotment. And
look at this.
if you could also pick items for your crew. And while you're doing that, could you both make me some perception checks?
Just one.
Just one. Well, one each. 3. Sad. What about you, Bev? What'd you get on your perception?
I thought I had proficiency in perception. Oh, that's insight. Oh, but I rolled a 19, so 20.
With the dirty 20, you can both see and hear one of Alfie's crystals here. And it's that same like blue diamond cut crystal. It is a very deep, like oceany blue, and you can hear like humming from it. Like it sounds like Alfie humming, like he did when he was cooking rock soup. You may do with that information as you please.
It's gonna take me a second to determine what I'm gonna grab. So.
It's all good. If you would like, you may use this table and get back to me before next session with your choices.
We're gonna definitely have to wait till next session to give the items to the other people, I think.
Right. So in this time, we will say that you have gotten or marked which ones you would like, and they will be either delivered or you have taken them with you.
I took a staff of power.
Make sure to put it in your personal channel what item you chose for yourself, and then in session, well, I guess you guys have to like kind of decide for your crew. Not Perseus or Zanara, I mean like the NPCs. Of what item you want them to have.
I'm gonna edit that message for the trade item. It's blank right now. I haven't determined it yet.
Interesting. So after you leave the armory, a lot of the crew stuff will be delivered, but the staff of your chosen items you can take with you right now, but the rest will be delivered later. You are escorted back to the carriages, and then driven back to the Sky Shadow, where there's like kind of a trade where they pick up Hirakan, or try to if you allow them. They take Hirakan with them, and they drop you guys off.
I'm going to tell them to wait a second, and can I? How many hours? How long does it take to make a scroll?
It's an hour to imbue the scroll with the magic. So each part is an hour. You have an hour to imbue the parchment, an hour to imbue the ink, and then an hour to actually do the spell.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna tell the guards. There's gonna be a scroll that's delivered to the Linwood tree later from me. Give it to Hirakan, please.
Well, the parchment in the ink is pretty.
Yeah, you have level 8 parchment ink.
So it's only gonna take me an hour to do it. So
unless if it's like a ritual spell, or well, not ritual spells, but if it's like one of those channeling spells that takes longer than an hour, you have to do the full channel.
No, I was gonna make a scroll of tiny hut to give to Hirakan.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay. Hold on, 1 second. I run down and swiftly go through the hour of making the tiny hut scroll and come back up. I know you've been waiting a while. I made you cookies.
One of the guards, because all of them are like way shorter than you, so they have to look up at you. Did you actually bring them cookies along with this scroll?
I did.
So they're like, ooh, and then like they get giddy and like pass around the cookies, and you give the scroll to Hirakan.
The cookies are laced with just like a comprehend language, so whenever they eat it for like a minute, they can just hear all languages.
Yeah, they don't really realize it at first because they've been speaking common. So
Gotcha.
they eat their cookies and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much. You really are heroes."
Hirakan, take this. You are to only use this if you start to hear that the place is being attacked. If you are sent word that you are under siege, that the Linwood tree itself is under siege, you are to immediately cast the spell and put you, the queen, and the princesses inside it.
Oh, all right. I'll do that. That sounds like a good plan. Question: what if that plan fails?
I mean, you've got many guards and lots of magical protections on top of that. This is just like the 13th layer.
Okay. All right. I'm not scared. I'm very scared. I'm lying.
You'll probably be fine, especially if you use this.
He,
But it takes a minute to cast, so you have to do it immediately as soon as you start to hear that the Linwood tree is under attack. I don't know how fast the Morag's men can climb those stairs, but they should give you enough time to cast it.
all right. I shall do that. Thank you. And he gets in the carriage. They close the door. Either they bow or salute, and then they get on their merry way. But one guard remains, a very young man. Well, I'm here with the intelligence about what we have about the orcs that are coming.
Dr. Bath. I point.
Do you have a war room?
We have a room that could maybe be used for that. Yeah, just follow me.
We have a war room. We got rid of the captain's quarters for a war room.
Is it a war room? I thought it was a lounge.
Yeah, but instead of the war room, we should go to the crew quarters because currently that is the only place with um, magical protections.
Okay.
Do you take him to the crew's quarters with all the bunks, or you take him to the captain's quarters?
The crew's quarters is where I casted the spell to counteract divination and planar travel and shit.
Nice. Yeah, you take him there and say, well, this is an interesting war room. Are these your crew's quarters?
You can't. I mean, if you wait. 10 minutes, we can use the war room.
I have as much time.
Okay, I'm gonna do 10 minutes of casting Private Sanctum in the war room.
Yeah, as you're doing that 10 minutes, the war room, quote unquote, that's become like the crew's lounge, has been like renovated by the crew. Like, there's couches in there, or like there's some extra bunks in there. There is like this little terrace thing full of like packaged snacks that Farron has made, and like this giant pitcher with a spout with like a spigot of tea.
Nice.
Ooh, can I have one of these?
Don't ask me.
Sure.
He opens one and it's like he pulls out like a brick kind of looking piece, and he's like, "Oh, very interesting." Takes a bite. This is so good. Thank you. Very savory. And he puts it in a little pouch.
Yeah, Baron has been working on that for a while. It used to taste like shit.
Wow, I'm glad he's not there. Well, let's get down to business, shall we? And that like pool table that got dumped out because it's not what it was supposed to be, so it's just a regular table now. Uh, he lays out a map. All right, so this is Toggan and the surrounding lands, and this map here is all of Kerth. We believe that coming from the north of Toggan shall be a fleet of orc vessels. Our intelligence suggests that Morag shouldn't be there, but she has been outfitting her other vessels, which it's a very big problem if you've seen her main vessel. She has more of those now, and she's quite accustomed to what we have here, so she knows the layout of Toggan very well from when she was a hero.
You stop using the H word.
Hero?
Yeah, like. What kind of evidence do you have for them for not doing this because of selfish reasons?
It doesn't really matter. You'll still be saving all of us.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, like. But we've also had conversations of, like.
Bav.
Killing everyone to get what we want so that we can kill Morag more easily.
Look, as someone who has been outcasted their whole life, it's kind of nice to be called hero, so please don't ruin this for me.
I don't know. I mean, do heroes eat people's brains?
You know, maybe sometimes.
Anyways, this map shows, and he lays out another map. This map shows of the movements that we've seen in the water, and he points to the northeast of Toggan, like out in the very open ocean. We don't know where the flotilla is, but we do see them originate their assaults from this direction. We believe that they plan to attack in about a month from now, which should give you plenty of time to prep for a fleet of vessels. We have our own navy, and we're also preparing cannons on the shorefront.
You guys got those. Remember, those big guys in Gilme that walk you down the street when you're a stranger. You got lots of those,
Automatons?
right?
No.
Yeah.
Automatons are banned in Toggan.
Why?
Well, the previous queen thought them unsavory to have in the capital. Those guard our smaller cities.
Should she
Uh-huh.
perhaps maybe forget the fact that it might not look super cool when you're being, assaulted by an army?
Also,
She's been
like,
dead for a long time, so
Well, maybe somebody should reconsider that outright.
I
those
don't make the laws, I just enforce them.
automatons didn't do much against the fucking raiding parties at more extent along the roads connecting Gilme to the other parts of the continent.
Ah, well,
Probably
this
because
is another
Captain
problem.
Mortis a piece of shit.
Well, this is another problem we have. We believe that there is a goblin army approaching Toggan about the same time. Now, my
Where are
question.
all these fucking goblins coming from?
Well, there's been rumors of a hobgoblin king amongst them. One with no nose.
You said we have a month before this attack?
Oh,
By our estimations, we believe that there's a month before the ships arrive, but the goblins will be here sooner.
I mean, why don't we just
okay.
go kill the goblins?
That is a brilliant
So
plan, Mistis the Witch.
fucking.
What?
Are you saying what to what I said or to what he said?
Just a hobgoblin with no nose that was set free.
I'm sorry, what?
You know,
A hobgoblin that was set
no,
free?
nothing.
What are you talking about?
Like when you have a prisoner, instead of bringing them to Gilme to be imprisoned, you just like set them free, and then they like come on another fucking boat and almost kill everyone, or start a fucking goblin army. No
I don't
more.
know what you're talking about, but it seems like you're really bitter about it, and maybe you should just give it
We've
a
got a
rest.
new rule. Any captured orcs or goblins will be sent to a prison or killed. Okay?
That
No
sounds
more
a bit racist.
coming back for vengeance. Okay, it's not
They are the enemy,
any.
I agree, but could we focus on our planning?
Okay.
We believe that there is an old armament castle in the woods of the Linwood, where the Hobgoblin King may reside. There is an old underground dungeon that spans a few stories, so I leave it up to the heroes to decide. You are much more heroic than I.
Yeah, I mean, like, we could go to Walnakaz and Wardy to see if they will help us at all, like Toggan.
Hmm.
And then on our way back to Toggan, we could just, like, rain fire from above on a bunch of little goblins.
All right.
I do agree we would be absolutely devastating from above.
Like, what are they gonna do? Fucking throw spears?
These goblins aren't normal, sir. They are, well, they are much tougher than normal goblins. I don't know what's different about them, but they seem to be enhanced in some way.
Can you have you ever been given any physical descriptions of them or seen one yourself?
The descriptions we get for them are that goblins tend to be blue instead of green. They are more muscular than normal. They're not cowardly. It is
Do they have a
interesting.
training montage?
I don't know what that means, but the town of Linsett has been destroyed.
Do you have you ever seen one in person?
No, I just know that my scouts say that my scouts that speak Goblin, they say that the goblins are on their way here, and it seems as though they were going to raid Kirk before, but their plans suddenly changed. If I had to guess, they probably want to fell the Linwood.
Why don't they just like start a fire? It'd be pretty bad around here.
Contrary to popular belief, Linwood trees are very, very resistant to fire. The seed pods that hold thousands of seed, if you were to eat a seed from the seed pod, you would gain a minor fire resistance.
Is that why
We
they're
were told that
10,000 gold?
we weren't allowed to have any.
Well, I'm sure maybe if you petition, you could justify that a seed pod could be used for your defense of the city. The city of Toggan rests on a peninsula, and one of our main problems is that with us being on a peninsula, we are quite guarded from the sea. But if anyone were to take out the structural integrity of the cliffs that guard us from the sea, the city would pretty much melt into the ocean. And also, on
This
top
is
of
why
that,
you should build your city under a mountain.
of course, Master Dwarf. But on a more serious note, these goblins, they're
Serious? You got one entrance.
well, there's only one entrance to the city besides the port.
Mm-hmm. And then the sky.
And this, I don't think you could wall your
You
well.
think you could fly an airship into Doherty?
Very true. Well, what say you we should, what should we do about these goblins?
I mean, we could go slaughter them, I'm sure. Even if they are muscly.
Alright, what resources would you need to pull this off?
We could do it over a weekend.
Pardon me?
Some healing potions.
Healing potions, of course.
And
That's
as much
it.
money that can fit in our safe.
The Queen has only allotted physical resources that are not monetary in value.
Okay, can we get a lot of physical resources that we can then trade for money?
If you were to fill out a report for it, I could deliver it and have you situated within a week.
You would sell the items that she gave to us and then give us the money?
No, I could bring you the items within a week.
And it takes a week. And the invasion's in a month.
Yes, the time is of the essence.
Is there any special, I don't know, like shit that's going on in the month? No solstice, no, like, eclipse,
No?
no, like, special holiday.
Well, there is the festival, but it's been cancelled.
What festival?
The Linwood Festival, the one we have every month. To feed the poor. Sadly, many must go hungry.
Didn't
Why?
you just give them food like soup kitchens that are always up? You don't have to wait until one time of the year to feed the poor.
We've tried that
Yeah,
many
you can just
times,
feed
but
them
gnomish people
anytime.
are very prideful.
I
Yeah,
mean,
well, get them higher paying jobs.
yeah, I mean, honestly,
Raise
just
the minimum wage.
make you know, low equity, high skill, learned environments where they can gain skills that they can use and to become, you know, workers, make a wage.
I'm just a messenger and a planner, just so you know. I'm not someone very important. I don't make laws. I just enforce them, and I'm here to assist
Why would
you.
someone send someone not important to go talk with us?
I'm not that important. That is for royalty to handle.
Well, that sounds like some bullshit,
Interesting.
don't you think?
Not really, as our princesses and our queen are in their tree, and the princes that are away.
Oh, wait, where? In the
Uh,
basement, locked up?
no, they are. Well, they should be at Walnacaz by now
Why?
for political relations. What do you think the princes are supposed to do?
I don't know. Make sure the poor are fed all the time.
The poor could be fed. They just need to ask. It, I, my gnomish. It's very hard to explain to those of you who are not us. But gnomes are very prideful people. No one likes asking for help, which is why it was such a great honor that the queen would ask for your assistance.
Well, let's get those healing potions. Can you expedite the 1 week?
The 1 week is expedition.
What if
Okay.
we just like
You should petition to your higher ups that if you get us the healing potions faster, we can destroy the goblin army faster. Meaning you have more time to prepare for the invasion.
I will be sure to tell someone that. But as for now, what if you could write a list of the things you need, I'll make sure to petition for it, and you'll have it at least by the end of the week.
Okay.
In the meantime, and he points on the map of the Linwood, right here is about where the fortress is, and you can see that it's about, like, halfway between Gilmy and the eastern shore of the Linwood. A very familiar place for Bav.
does that work? Everyone died.
Yes. No, that's not. I'm sorry. That's where, the Goblin Cave. It's near the Goblin Cave from the second session.
Can you make sure that if we go to Gilmy, we can easily get an audience with Mayor?
Well, I very much doubt that.
I thought we were heroes.
To us.
I can't help but feel a little bit bad, because, our new recruits take the orders so seriously.
I have been on the force for 30 years.
No, our new recruits, they're eager to please, and, if you say fire, he just fucking fireballs, which is not his fault. I was
Interesting.
hoping that only the guard captain would pay for being an idiot. But, following an authoritarian figure is also not doesn't make you innocent just because you are following orders of someone who is clearly batshit crazy. Am I right, Mistis? You look in his brain, and you're crazy, so you recognize it, right?
Well, the interesting thing, so yeah, I would consider myself pretty insane, but my God, his brain quite fucked up, and that is coming from a relatively insane woman.
Well, I can't remark on whether Guard Captain Mort or you are insane. I can say, however, you don't have to go to Gilmy to get there.
Here.
you-
Check this out.
I'm going to cast Encode Thoughts, which I swapped one of my cantrips for when I leveled up to 8. that comes from my pact. I'm gonna think of one of the memories that Captain Mort had, where he just had like this irrational hatred for the group. I'm gonna pull it out of my head and say, "Eat this," and it's this little like glowing yellow strand of memory.
I'm here to assist you, but I'm going to have to decline that. That is
Eat it.
awful.
We really need you to eat this.
No, no.
It's
It is
will help greatly.
extremely
Mm-mm.
disrespectful in our circle to not accept food.
It's a good thing I'm not part of your circle. Because
I really
Is
think
anyone
we should
else-
eat this.
Nope.
Is anyone else here with you?
Here, I got another one.
And I'm gonna think of the time when I blasted open Margaret's brain, and was like rummaging through her brain. I'm gonna pull that out.
Eat this one instead.
No, I'm not pulling anything that comes out of your head. That's weird.
Whatever.
And then I eat it.
Oh, okay. And anyways, is there anything else that you may need from me? Besides that, it's your responsibility to handle these threats.
I'm good. We can get you, I
We
guess,
get a we
list.
get like a bonus for getting rid of the goblin problem. Because really, what we agreed to was to defend against Moray.
Well, you haven't agreed to anything. You're just defending Toggan. So, I'm not very good at this. I'm mostly used to bureaucracy, so just
Oh, we're real fucking stupid around here.
I will take my leave now. Good luck.
Poor guy. You really gave him a hard time.
Again, he's defending Guard Captain Mort. I'm not a.
I mean, I peered into his brain. I mean,
Guard Captain Mort as apologizers.
yeah, but you know, I peered into his brain. He was a little misguided, yes, and fanatical, but he had his heart in the right place.
Okay, well maybe I just need to justify it in my head that I told our crew to fucking explode like 20 people.
That was pretty badass, but was also very shocking because they they seemed like just regular people, and suddenly, oof, they're gone.
Oh my god.
They were like standing there, and I was not feeling good because we had just been done like a lot of flying, and you know, one I like blinked, and suddenly they were ashed into the wind.
You get a knock on the door.
Hello?
In comes Pollock. Ah, yes, council people. What shall we do?
Council of the Shadow. And you have to talk like that from now on.
Also, why did you say councilman? There's only one council person in here.
I said council people because you're both in here. And
I'm not a.
We doesn't get to tell you what to do.
Alright. Well then,
We're just-
missus, get back to work.
You can't tell her what to do either, though.
Alright?
I-
Mistress,
I'm
disregard
pretty-
what I said.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm
We-
just an ally.
We are different organizations.
Alright. Well then, missus, may I speak with our council person?
I mean, yeah, I can't stop you.
No, I mean for you to get out.
Okay.
Why?
Because it's private and she's not one of us?
Well, I mean, like, I've kind of been confiding in Mistus right before you got here. So,
Oh, I didn't know she was your lover. Okay, I'm sorry.
no.
I like women.
I didn't know you were a woman, Bev. I'm sorry.
Nope.
A real pretty one at that too. And I like kind of nudge.
So sweet. So sweet.
You can
Anyways,
talk to someone. Okay, just say it.
alright, I'll just say it. What are we gonna do?
Slaughter goblins. That's what they want.
Slaughter goblins. Where are they?
They said to like,
Basically, just south of right
yes,
here.
out.
Alright.
And
Then I
they're
shall,
like a
shall we leave
decrepit
immediately?
fort.
We're waiting on some supplies, I believe.
How long are we waiting for?
I mean, I think we could go and kill all the goblins before our supplies can get here.
Fair enough.
Because there's like fucking 20 healing potions on the boat right now.
Sure thing. I'll go where you go.
Alright, I'll get Harriet to start up their ship and we'll leave immediately.
I'm gonna stay with Harriet and try and get a better understanding of how to pilot.
Normally I make you make charisma checks for like crafting and stuff, but for this you'll actually have to do intelligence because it's Harriet teaching and she's an intelligence-based caster.
Yeah.
Hey DM, just to let you know, the magic item that I traded for is going to be the Wings of Flying.
Interesting.
What is that?
It's a cloak that turns into wings.
And they fly.
And they
For
fly
how long?
for an hour.
Oh. So
You can also potentially use them multiple times a day.
Would it be at just intelligence or arcana for piloting?
it could be intelligence or arcana. That's fine.
Okay. 17.
17. With a 17, you're able to like understand more of what Harriet's doing, but like she's moving kind of fast with it. She's like, oh, and this one, and then this one, and then this one. Oh, and it's just so fun, right?
Like, I could probably control it when we're cruising, but if any deviation, no.
Yeah, like maneuvers are gonna be too difficult for you still, but like lifting off and like going somewhere is good enough now.
Oh, I'm gonna get Rowan in on this too. We've got to, Harriet, I don't want to compromise your job security, but also for the security of the ship. If you ever are incapacitated, it's really important that someone else knows how to do this.
She tries to teach Rowan, but he does not grasp this at all. He rolled a nat one.
Oh, he's too riddled with guilt, or he's still on a high. I don't know if it's
He's still bricked up several days later.
Oh, yuck. Anyways, you guys take off, and I need you guys, and I'll make a roll for the crew. Just perception checks to see if you can suss this out. It takes about a day to get into the search area, so you have a day for downtime. And we're rolling to see how long it takes for you to find this.
Yeah, I got a 17.
We have like a couple more scrolls, right?
Oh fuck! Before we leave, we gotta tell him that we need more scrolls, blank scrolls.
Yeah, it's, just like I need a list from you guys, and that's the list you gave him.
Okay.
Yeah. Another day goes by.
How many scroll blanks do we have?
You get that. 4.
Can I use one to make one more tiny? I have a plan.
Okay.
Epic.
Got 3 left. And we only have 121 uses of ink now.
Oh
Because
no.
we did the math on how many times you could use a gallon of ink for this.
Mhm. I need another perception check. So you have spent 2 days, one for travel, another for searching.
That's a dirty 20.
What about you, Mistress?
Why is this another perception check?
Yes.
I am not good at that. Did you see that I got a 17 on the first day though?
Yeah, I did.
14.
Bav, you do spot it this time, just like the top of a tower, barely, and there's like vines growing out of it, and like a whole nother tree on top. Um, and it's like this. It's not a large castle, but it is a castle in the woods, and it's definitely not gnomish creation.
Do I know what it could be?
Make a history.
5.
It's just old. It's something not dwarven, so it's always been unimportant to
Well,
you.
actually, it's 4. Because history is 0.
Do I remember that being there?
There's a lot of ruins around Kerth from when the ancient elves used to roam. So
Yeah.
this is probably like ancient Eladrin before they gave up construction.
Gotcha. I like look out over the edge and then realize we're still thousands of feet in the air and get weak on the knees and go back below.
How are you going to use your cloak of flying if you're scared of flying?
Look, I'm getting more used to it, okay? I'm working my
What
way
if
up
we-
to it.
What if we just tie a rope around you and, like, dangle you? You think that would help?
I'm pretty sure I would have a panic attack
sure.
and destroy the ship.
Exposure therapy.
I think that's too much exposure too quickly.
Yeah. Do you alert your crew about the castle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they Harriet pulls into a hover where everyone can look with like either binoculars or spyglasses at the castle. And the intel your crew can purvey is that it is a large castle. They do see lots of blue and green goblins coming to and from the castle. There has to be so many goblins in there. They are a lot more militant than you remember. They have like actual armor on rather than just like hide covering their genitals. And they have like forged weapons.
Lovely.
What are your orders, Captain?
I shoot the cannon at it.
Yeah, you could position your way to using the cannon.
Let's try it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So Harriet needs to make. So this is Harriet's first time firing this cannon, and she knows how to fly the ship, not really work the cannon.
Captain, make sure, or Bav, sorry. Make sure that there is nothing that you're going to destroy behind it.
It's pretty remote.
Okay.
Yeah, these dice should be fine. So she readies the cannon. Alright. So,
Is she rolling with disadvantage?
you don't know.
Well,
She-
our clockwork sorcerer would probably like to know to use his ability.
Oh, Well, yeah, she is rolling with disadvantage. She's never fired this cannon before.
I'll use restore balance to make a single roll.
All right. Um, she did not roll well.
That doesn't
Rats.
sound good.
So, this is what you see. You see her like power everything on. She's, she feels like that she could do this. You restore her balance, and you see the cannon's barrel and the engine light up really, really bright. Um, and she presses the lever to fire. And I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
Don't worry. I got a bonus for this from my staff of power.
6. Yeah.
8. Oh no. 10.
10. Okay, you're both knocked prone. You take 3 bludgeoning damage. As the ship first is jolted back really hard through the air, and this large line of beam cuts like kind of around where the castle is, and like knocks down that tower. And you see goblins kind of right. If you could notice in the moment, goblins kind of scatter and like all funnel into the castle, and they're like from the funneling of them coming back from the woods. There has to be at least 100 of them going back in. The cannon's the cannon's barrel stays like glowing red hot, and the ship begins to fall about like 100 feet out of the air, before the engine like kicks back up and is good to go.
So do we take 100 falling damage?
No, it's just like because I mean, it didn't like stop so suddenly where you're like in the air and make slamming contact. It's just that you were. It was like a slow descent. It's not like a full-on fall. It's more like there wasn't enough power in the generator at that moment to stay that high up.
It's more like now your stomach is in your throat.
Yeah, you went on a crazy-ass roller coaster that went down 100 feet.
I mean, yeah, Mistus is like crying and having a panic attack, probably.
Yeah, everyone is like severe motion sickness. Everyone's on the floor, like trying to get back up. Harriet, status report.
Harriet.
It's good. It's not bad, but we missed, and we'll have to wait to shoot again. And she like looks at some dials and looks at her watch. Tomorrow.
Yeah, let's go ahead and say big cannon, emergencies only. Sound like a plan?
Yes, that sounds like a plan. And a bunch of shit downstairs crashed. And Farron comes up, covered in like stew. What?
Is he covered in burns?
Yeah, like he's kind of steaming. He's like, "What happened?"
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, and he goes back down.
Mistus is still panicking.
Yeah, and the crew reconvenes and, all right, now what?
I guess, anybody who wants to slaughter goblins, we can just go down there and start.
All right. Well, we'll look for a clearing and we'll proceed on foot. Who's staying on the ship?
You and Harry.
All right. So Lenora and Harriet are staying. Is there anyone else you want to stay, or is everyone else going?
Oh, I thought that was Pollock.
No, he has a
Oh,
very gruff voice.
okay. Well, Lenora, you come here. Pollock is gonna stay.
Okay, former Captain Pollock, Harriet. Is Wynn going?
No. He, he can stay here. Maybe next time we should have Wynn do some of the talking. What do you think about that plan, Wynn?
That sounds very nice, I suppose. I need to go throw up. But
Don't do it in the shit chest. That's all for shit only.
you do have like a rudimentary toilet that just kind of jettisons fucking shit at the back of the ship.
I got nostalgic, okay?
Yuck. Anyways, Harriet does find like a clearing to land temporarily, and we'll pick up on that next time when we have everyone else, or more people at least.
And Mistis is still panicking.